Good morning, everyone. Happy 11/11. We just passed 11/11, so happy 11/11 to you. And you are with me here today. Hello. And it's good to see you. It's good to connect with you. You can see behind me, I am at my favorite place in the world, which is the disc golf course. Doesn't really matter which one to me. Just being out on the course to me is a beautiful thing and a beautiful day. And I don't find myself here as often as I used to. I have a lot going on, but whenever I can find time, I like to stop here and throw some discs and just collect my thoughts and connect with nature. It's a beautiful thing about disc golf is you're playing a game, you're having fun, you're exercising, and one of the biggest parts of it is you're connecting with nature. You're out in the woods, you're out in the grass, you're out in the elements with the weather, and every course and every state, the courses are all different in every state, and so depending on where you go, you get to really see a lot of diversity within the nature. I was able to get out to Colorado a few years back, and that was something really incredible to be able to play on the sides of mountains and the elevation differences. And I was also out in Florida at one point, and with the palm trees, that's a whole other element to it. The palm trees are a lot different than what I'm used to here. We're in Wisconsin here, and so I love it. I love being able to just be outside. It's my comfort, you know. And if you have never tried disc golf, I would recommend it. I never knew about it. I grew up in Massachusetts and never even heard of disc golf. Ended up moving out to the Midwest, and that's when I first started hearing about it and playing. And come to find out, they do have courses in Massachusetts, and actually some of the best courses in the world are in Massachusetts, funny enough. But so I believe disc golf courses are pretty much in every state, I would assume at this point. So go ahead and jump online and search for some local disc golf courses and get out to one. Buy yourself a Frisbee and go out and start playing, because it's a lot of fun. You can do it by yourself, which is amazing. You know, when I first started, I was in a place in my life where I didn't really have anyone or anything positive in my life going on, and I was able to take up disc golf, and I was able to go out for hours at a time and just be by myself and throw and work on the game and get my mind off of the negativity. And it was a healing process, and it continues to be that way. You can't walk through a course and play around without, you know, thinking, you know, and having thoughts come through. And for me, it's not just about playing the game and throwing the shots. It's about healing, you know, along the way. And so all that goes along with it. And so if you've never played, I would highly suggest it. It's so much fun. And again, you can play by yourself or you can play in a group. And you know, I've met so many great people through disc golf. I've probably met more people through disc golf than anything else in my life, you know, other than being in school and growing up with people, right? Disc golf has been something. It's a huge community, and brings everybody together. And speaking of community, for my I'm High and This Is Disc Golf community, cheers to you. Here's my Look-A-Bear, and if you don't have one of these guys, go and get yourself one, because the Look-A-Bear is fire, and it's cute, and it's awesome, and it's like feels good in the hand, and it works really well. So cheers to all of my people with the I'm High and This Is Disc Golf group. And if you're not part of that group, go ahead and get yourself involved with that group, because it's a great group of people, a lot of positivity there, and I love being a part of it. I love sharing with you all, and I love diving into all of your guys' posts and interacting as well. It's really fun. It's a fun group. So thank you for that group, and cheers to you. Medicine. This is my medicine right here, and this is something that's very important to me. I talk a lot about it. If you follow along with my page, I talk a lot about medicine, and you might not understand what I mean by medicine, because there's all kinds of different medicine, but what I mean is natural medicine, plant medicine, and it comes in many forms. But for me, there's a daily regiment, and part of my medicine is cannabis. Okay, and what came to light to me within the last couple of days, and I posted a quote about it, is essentially the medicine is what helps bridge us to the deeper meaning. Okay, it bridges us to the deeper understanding. It opens up our minds, it opens up our hearts, it opens up ourselves, and it really connects us and puts us in tune. It's so easy to be distracted and to forget that you even exist. We walk around just doing all these things, and as soon as you can help yourself open up, it's like blossoming, open up the flower. It's like you're like a closed off flower, your mind, right? And as soon as you have that medicine, it helps open up your mind. You can get to this place through meditation, but in fact, the medicine instantly puts you in that meditative state. And you can meditate with the medicine and go even into a deeper place. But it really helps open you up. And for me, it's all about connecting and making sure that I'm doing the right things and being where I need to be at the right times. And for me, if I'm not in tune, if I'm not listening to the right channel, how am I supposed to know when is the right time to go? How am I supposed to know what is the right thing to do? And you can make a lot of guesses, and what you find is you end up turning yourself around a lot. And I don't feel like doing the hokey pokey today. So what I do is I take care of myself every day. I keep myself in balance. Okay? We are very much like batteries, and we can be overcharged and we can be depleted. We want to be somewhere, 3/4 of the way there, like a nice charged up battery. We don't want to be depleted, and we don't want to be overcharged. And if we are finding ourselves in those places, we need to do something about that. And we can breathe, we can meditate, we can listen to music, we can do things like that. We can play disc golf. But with all those things, you can also use the medicine with those things, and it helps open it up to an even deeper level. And so if you're someone who uses the medicine, I know you understand what I'm already talking about. If you're someone that doesn't use the medicine or has never used it or has had negative experiences with it in the past or something like that, what I say to people is not everything is for everybody. It's when it's ready. It's when it's right and ready for you. That's when it's right and ready. And you will know as a person if it's ready for you, because yourself will be letting you know, hey, let's do something about something, right? And what you can do is, if you're unsure about these things, is start doing some research, okay? Start looking, and when you do research into things, if you just type into Google, a lot of times you're going to get, the mainstream pages coming through with what they want to tell you. But if you can find those sites like Reddit or some other sites where it's actually people themselves talking about their experiences, what you can do is get a deeper understanding and connection and feel more comfortable about going into something like that. And what you're going to find, though, is if you start dipping your toes into the plant medicine world, is that it's going to provide your healing that you've been seeking. It's going to provide the answers that you've been seeking. Okay, it's what they call in the Bible biting the apple, right? That's why they didn't want you to bite the apple in the Bible, because the Bible is about suppressing you, right, and keeping control over you. So they don't want you to have the knowledge, right? Why would your father banish you for wanting to know the truth? That doesn't make any sense, does it? No. So the idea is we want to know the truth, and we don't want to be afraid to know the truth. And it's not a sin to know the truth, okay? It's not going against anything to know the truth. It's actually going against yourself not to know the truth, to not bite the apple. That means you're scared and you're afraid and you're not ready. But for those who are ready and said, I've had enough of this charade, it's time. Okay? And many states now have legalized cannabis, so there's no fear of incrimination or anything like that. So go ahead and do your research and take care of yourself. I would highly recommend that you start taking care of yourself in some other ways that maybe you haven't yet or haven't thought about or have been too afraid to try, because the help is there, the medicine is there. If you just do a little bit of research and digging around, you can find it, and you can start taking care of yourself. Okay, you don't need to go hire somebody or pay somebody to to listen to your problems to give you an answer. You can literally, the medicine is the answer, okay? And it can give you the answer. It's just not being afraid to use it. So, cheers to all of that. We haven't even said our thanks yet today, so let's start by saying our thanks. Thank you for our life. Thank you for our health. Thank you for our medicine. Thank you for our time together. Thank you for the understanding. Thank you for our friends and family. Thank you for the ability for all of us to connect in this way. This is really an amazing thing. Thank you for the opportunity to keep growing and learning and figuring it out. We all didn't have to wake up today, but we did. And it's really hitting me every day now. Every day now, it's becoming more and more humbling to me when I open my eyes and I realize, wow, I'm still here. Because it just feels in this world right now that at any moment it could just stop and turn off. And it's this feeling that when is it going to end, or what is going to happen next, or something like that. And every day I wake up and I realize, wow, I'm still here. This is really an incredible experience. It really, really is an incredible experience. And, yes, there's a lot of negativity in the world, but that doesn't mean that defines what this experience is supposed to be. That's just what certain people have made it. Okay, so we want to keep working on reclaiming our safe place, reclaiming our safe home, in a sense, and bringing it back to what it used to be and what it should be and what it could be and what it can be, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place, and a place that we would all be proud to call home. So let's keep focusing on that. Real quick, we just started a new moon phase on the 8th during that solar eclipse. Not sure if you were able to catch that or not. Here in Wisconsin, we got pretty good. We didn't get full totality, but pretty close. And I did take some pictures and video. If you check my page out, you can watch that. It was really cool. It got very, very dark out, and that was the most interesting thing to me. You could literally feel the weather was warm and it changed to cold, but you could feel like the sunlight coming through, but the weather completely changed to cold when it got dark. It looked like it was like a cloudy, rainy day out, how dark it was, but it was clear skies. It was a very strange phenomena that was happening around me at the time, and that was the biggest thing I picked up on. The other thing that I picked up on was, if I didn't have a way to look at the sun, I was using a welding helmet. It was almost as if you literally would never even have known anything was passing over it. You couldn't tell. Even if by catching glimpses, even when that was almost fully covered, looking up at it, it didn't look like anything was even there. And even looking through a phone camera, it didn't even look like anything was there. It's only when you kind of were able to darken the lens, so to speak, that you were able to see that image over the sun. It was kind of an interesting thing. I had never experienced that before, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, we just started a new moon phase, so again, the energies are going to continue to pick up all the way up until the full moon. And as of right now, it feels like literally after the solar eclipse on the 8th, the next day, the 9th, literally felt like a new chapter. Okay, was that yesterday already? Yes, yesterday. It felt like a new chapter. When I woke up, it felt like we had made it through something. It feels like I call these things checkpoints in life, and you have them throughout your day and throughout your life, and they have these big ones celestially, so to speak. And it felt like a major checkpoint at that point. And waking up yesterday felt like we were on a new page, and so we are on a new moon cycle here, and the energies will continue to pick up. Right now, like I said, it feels very peaceful. It feels like we've done something right. That's the vibe I'm getting. Like we've done something right. It feels good. I feel like as much as there was chatter about all these negative possibilities surrounding the solar eclipse, I feel like really we didn't, as a people, blow it out of proportion like we usually do. It's usually a really, the thing that keeps coming to my mind is the Y2K thing back in 2000. It was just this so blown out of proportion thing, and I didn't feel that this time. You heard chatter about things, but it wasn't like we were freaking out, and I'm really proud of us for that. It says that we're losing this sense of this fear, and we're not buying in as much, and we're just trying to stay positive, and so that's what we're all trying to do here. So, cheers to that. Good stuff. I could keep talking, you know that. But what I did want to do is throw a few discs. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick up the flight of the disc, but I did post a shot that I threw yesterday from this very tee pad. I don't know if you can see, but out in the distance there's kind of a small mound with some dead trees that are kind of growing on it. And the front of the mound's about 400 feet, and the middle of the mound's about 450 feet. I hit about the middle of the mound yesterday with this turn here. We have similar conditions today, a slight tailwind. So this is one of the cool courses around the area because it has this hole and the next hole after it are two big wide open shots that really let you open up, and I enjoy that. So I was going to throw this turn again, and then I'm going to throw this Pro Wraith. It's a 164 Pro Wraith. I literally can just throw this on an extreme hyzer and it'll flip up and turn. Now with the tailwind, I don't know how much turn I'm going to get out of it, and that's why I'm thinking maybe I can put on a severe hyzer, and maybe it won't burn over on me with the tailwind. So we'll see if I can get down a big hyzer. This one, same thing. It's just a little bit more stable. So this is a max weight turn, and it's when I can put these two together, and this one will flip up and turn and burn over sometimes. This one's going to flip up, turn a little bit, but the turn usually has a reliable fade back at the end, and so this one wants to fight back, whereas this one, if I put a lot on it, it's just going to want to keep turning. And then this new EchoStar Excalibur that I got in my package the other day from the factory store, and I thought it was going to be a lot more overstable than my Destroyer, but I threw it and that's not the case. And I don't know if these EchoStar runs are less stable or if I was just misunderstood about the Excalibur. I always felt like the Excalibur was supposed to be more overstable than the Destroyer, but it is definitely not. The first time I threw it yesterday, it almost turned into a roller. I was really surprised. I did put anhyzer on it, expecting it to fight back, and it just burned into a roller almost. So I'm going to test this out, see if I can work this a little bit, because there's a tailwind. So in stability ranking, it's going to be the Wraith, then the Turn, then this Excalibur. And so I'm going to throw them in that order. Most understable first, that's what I like to do. And I can read the wind the best way that way and see how strong the wind is affecting the disc, and then I'll increase the stability of the disc for my shots and be able to know how to manipulate them better. So we'll just see how it goes, and then after I throw them, of course I'm going to have to go walk to get them. I don't think I can measure a throw while I'm doing a live video, but like I said, if I get a good shot, we can basically get a good gauge of where it's going to be, because if it's up on the hill, we're looking at 450. So I don't generally get it up on the hill. Yesterday, honestly, that was my first time getting it solidly up on the hill. I've hit the bank of the hill, the front of the hill, several times, but I usually don't crest over the mound and get it up on the hill. So I was very proud of that shot, and we'll see if we can do a good shot now. Thank you everyone for taking the time to listen, by the way, and watch, and I appreciate you. I know you don't have to be here doing this. I know you can be doing other things, but by you being here watching this, again, it's that calling. It's something, you're hitting your checkpoint. You're right where you need to be, and you're connecting with me, and that's a big deal, so be proud of yourself. So we'll try this Pro Wraith first. 164 Pro Wraith, very understable. So I'm just going to put it on hyzer, and I think it's going to flip up, turn, and we'll see if it gets a little fade back. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if you can see that flight, but it actually popped up and held straight the entire flight. Didn't get the turnover like I thought it would, but it literally held straight the entire flight and finished up on the bank of the hill. So that's looking at probably about 420 right there. So next, now that I know that it's not turning the disc over as much as I thought it would, I can know how to throw this disc better. Again, if any of you are interested in getting any tips on your game, your disc golf game, let me know. I started doing kind of like a coaching thing several years ago, and again, my life completely turned upside down once I had my two kids. A lot of things came to a halt. I've been focusing on being a dad and being a family man. But I was getting into, at the time I was playing a lot of tournaments, and I was getting into kind of coaching at the time as well, disc golf. So if anyone wants any tips on how to, for their practice routines or ways to go about doing field work, or want any tips on their game as far as form or disc selection or understanding anything about the game, let me know. The reason, and again, I'm explaining this because I'm explaining why I'm going through the disc from understable to overstable. If you guys go out and you're practicing disc, you have to have a method to what you're doing, or else it's not going to make sense. It's not going to have a reason to it. So start with your most understable disc, see how the wind reads it, and then work on your other disc. And you'll know how much power and torque and angle to put on the disc based on that. So I threw that one like this, and it flipped up to straight. If I threw this like this, now I know it's just going to hold the hyzer. So I'm going to really want to throw this one flat, actually. So I'm going to throw this turn nice and flat, max weight turn. It's beautiful. Let's do it. So kind of a weak throw. I came up about 20 feet short of the last shot and a little bit left. It faded out a little bit more. Again, I could have put more power on it, and I could have put a little bit more anhyzer on it. It was just a weak shot. Yeah, we can't be perfect all the time. But now that I know that even that shot flat is still not turning over, with this Excalibur, I really know I'm going to be able to put some anhyzer on it. I'm going to put as much power, a good amount of power on it, and a little bit of anhyzer, and see if I can get a flex out of this one. Probably pushing the 440 mark again. That one went off to the right side, so the hill, the mound starts closer on the left side and then kind of angles to the right and angles in deeper, and that one went way to the right side of the hill up on the bank, so that's got to be 440, 450 ish. So that's exciting. Guess what I can do is I can have you walk with me. We can walk down there and finish up our chat. And we'll check out where these discs land, and you can see the rest of the hole here. Just want to say again, I appreciate everyone who's taking the time to watch, and hope you're having a great day today. Hope you're enjoying the nice weather. If you have it, man, we had just seemed like the last whole month was just cold and wet and rainy. We had a couple days of snow, and it was just unpleasant to be outside, windy, and so it finally feels good to get out, be outside. They're doing construction on the parking lot at this course, so it's not closed, but nobody's going here, and so there's a back parking lot on the back side of the course that I parked at, and I kind of got the whole course to myself, so it's kind of nice. You can see we're walking up here. Here's that mound I was talking about. They planted a bunch of trees several years ago on the mound, and they were doing okay. I don't know what happened. These things look awful. They're all dead. I don't know what happened there. So actually so you can see my first shot landed up on the mound there, the Wraith. And then the other one, which I thought was 20 feet short, is not really short at all. It's about the same. It's just left. So those are about the same, just one's left, and I could have put a little more oomph on the turn there for sure. So, got that. Here's that Wraith. Don't know if you can see the basket, but it's through all this stuff. So we'll go check out the Excalibur shot. So it didn't quite make it up the hill. It was a little bit shorter than I thought. So right where that dirt patch is there is about 450, and I'm about 50 feet short of that. So I'm closer to about 400 here. You can see the basket with the flag right there. This is considered a par 4 on this course. It's definitely not a par 4. But I should have an easy par. See if I can capture this upshot here. Trying to film by yourself is fun. It's super fun. All right. So actually I'm gonna toss this AVR 3. Just picked this up. Ace Time Disc Golf, Milwaukee, shout out. I'll give you the shout out because they got the good stuff, man. I love being able to go into a shop and be able to put the discs in my hand and try them out. Okay, there's so many discs out there nowadays. You can read reviews and things and all, they sound all great, but until you get it in your hand and see how it feels, it's really hard to know if you're even gonna like it. Like how it feels, right? That's the first thing. You put it in your hand, even if the disc has good results for people when they throw it, if you put it in your hand and it feels like crap, you're not gonna want to throw it. So thank you for Ace Time Disc Golf in Milwaukee. Thank you, Matt, for being open today and providing your services and all your beautiful plastic. And I've instantly fallen in love with this disc. I'm using it. I'm gonna use it as my putting putter. But I threw it a couple of times and it's pretty stable. It's a really nice flying disc. So I got a pretty straight approach here. I got to throw it over some of those dead trees, and I kind of want it just to fade into the basket. Okay, so this should be a nice, reliable shot. Let's see. That's pretty good. I threw it a little too straight at the basket and it faded off left of the basket, maybe about, I don't know, less than 20 feet, I'd say, about 15 feet. So, go check it out. So beautiful today. Get the sun up there. Oh, beautiful sunshine. What is your favorite outdoor activity? You know, something else I've been wanting to get into is like mountain biking. I got some pretty cool, there's actually a disc golf course called Silver Fox, and they got some mountain biking trails that I've been really wanting to check out. So we'll see. That'd be fun. I gotta get a mountain bike first. So we've got a pretty good upshot. We'll try to get this putt in again. Just literally picked these putters up, so, but no excuses, dude. And if I miss on camera live, it is what it is. I've done worse things in my life. Well, that was a lot worse than I expected. There was a big headwind, no excuses. That was awful. You see, this is what happens when you have kids and you can't get out and play every day, so you don't know how to putt anymore. No, I'll be completely honest. My putting game used to be really, really solid. Used to play a lot of tournaments. Starting in 2015, I started playing tournaments. Played a lot of tournaments. I was playing 30 tournaments sometimes a year. 20 tournaments at least, for sure. And had success. I won a few intermediate tournaments. I set a goal to win cash in the open division, and I took cash in an open division for a tournament. And so I met those goals. My putting used to be really solid. Like I said, I really completely stepped away from the game when I had my kids, and didn't expect that it would have such an effect. It seems as if my throws seem to be okay. I think because it's not as much of a mental game with the throwing. I can step on a tee pad, see the shot, and throw. With the putting, it's such a mental thing. And you really need repetitions with it. And I used to putt every day. And I had a basket I would bring inside my house when it was bad weather out, and I would just putt and putt and putt through the hallway. And I don't do any putting practice anymore. And so it's one of the most frustrating things for me. I have a really solid game, and then I get up around the green, and 50% of the time now, I'd say, it falls apart for me, and it can be very frustrating. This is what I love about the game as well. There's so much to learn about being in control of our emotions, not giving up, not quitting, not getting down on ourselves, not feeling like you're a failure, all right, or you can't succeed, or you're not good. I know I'm good. I know I'm solid. It would have been great to make that putt for the video, right? It would have been, oh man, it was just so perfect, but that's just not how it was, and that's not how life is. Life isn't perfect. Life takes work. It takes commitment, and I have 2 air balls, and then I come over here with just as far of a putt, and I'm able to hit it, right? Because I stick with it. Of course, if I'm in a tournament, that would have killed me, and I've done that. I've done it in tournaments. I've been in tournaments and free putted, okay? It's okay. I remember one tournament, there was an elevated basket. I was literally at the base of the basket, went to go chip my putt in just to tap it in, and I toss it in vertically like this, and it goes right through the chains out the other side. And this is in a tournament for a stroke. It was awful. I understand, okay? I understand what it takes. And so for me, this year, my kids are getting a little bit older, but I'm going to keep, and this is the reason why I'm out here today, because otherwise I wouldn't be. And so I'm going to keep focusing on getting back to my practice. I'm really going to commit to my repetitions on my putting. Something that I realized too with putting is everyone likes to set a marker out to 30 feet and try to putt. Well, what happens is you miss a lot of putts that way. What I find that really works solid is bring it in a lot closer and just smash putts. Bring it into a point where you're super comfortable and get your routine, get your motion. Then take a step or 2 back and keep working that way. A lot of times what happens is we get out on the course or we get to our house and we just want to go out to a far distance and just start throwing putts, and we're not doing anything consistently there, okay? So I'm going to work on that, and is what it is. I really do like these AVR 3s. They feel good in my hand. They're kind of thinner. They're not as thick, not as deep. Doesn't seem to be a bead on them. It's just really smooth. It comes off smooth. That first putt was online, just the wind took it way up. I released it way too high. And then the second one, same thing. It was much farther distance, and I can see my release was weak. And so when you have a weak release, the wind can affect the disc much more, and it's going to, and it's just going to take the disc wherever it wants to. So you have to be nice and direct, and that's what I did on that last putt there, and I'm going to keep working on it. So once again, I appreciate all of you taking the time to watch and taking the time to connect, because that's what it's all about. Don't get down on yourself. You got to be your own support system, okay? Keep reminding yourself that you're doing your best, you're trying your hardest, and that you love yourself, and you love this life that you're in, and the time that you have to be doing all these things, right? Because that's what it's all about. So have a great rest of your day. You got this, and I got you. Cheers.